Woo! What is up, everybody? Here on Universe of the BluTubers, what the hell? I am BluTuber, 22 Tiger Dude, and I am here with BluTuber,
WWE fan 0599 here again. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are here to do the ranking of the 2016 superhero films. And I came prepared because I'm wearing a Civil War shirt, boy. So let's do this.
Nice. And then over here we got BluTuber,
Brian Mendoza. And guess what, y'all? I'm not wearing a Marvel shirt.
It's okay, man. Star Wars still rocks, though. And for anyone knowing, this is a Marvel shirt. Look at all that. So yes, as Mr. Double Nine has stated, this is where we are gonna rank the 2016 superhero movies. Maybe not necessarily like the DC animated movies, even though I know Double Nine has seen those and all that.
Yes.
We're just gonna focus on the movies that basically everyone has seen, which is the main six.
Yes.
So yes, of course, you guys, it's just going to go one by one. Since there are a total of 6 superhero movies, we're going to start off with number 6, which will be like our weakest superhero movie of this year, leading up all the way to the number 1 being our best of the year. So, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and start off with my number 6, and I know this is going to really disappoint Double Nine, but my number 6, yes, is Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Suicide Squad really did disappoint me. I was so excited. I was so ready for this movie, and it just didn't quite deliver, in my opinion. Like, Jared Leto, he's good in the film. I just wasn't necessarily a fan of his Joker, to be honest. And I thought the movie was so all over the place, especially like editing wise. I thought editing wise, the movie just could have been so much better, personally. And like the cast has fun, but like I just said, the storyline was just so all over the place that you're kind of like, what the hell is going on there? And then there's certain information that feels left out in the film, and like I could tell that they tried with this film, but the problem is that you could tell that Warner Brothers was they were really interfering with this film. And I feel like if they weren't interfering so much with this film, David Ayer, who's a very talented filmmaker, could deliver us a very solid Suicide Squad at least. Like, I think if Warner Bros. Just let David Ayer do what he needed to do, we could garner ourselves a good one. But honestly, I just came out feeling very meh. And I mean, more power to those that did enjoy this film. I have nothing against anyone that did really enjoy this movie, and I could understand why, but personally, I was just disappointed. And yes, this is my number 6. It is my weakest superhero movie of 2016, so that's my number 6 personally. Now we go on to Double Nine's number 6.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so my number 6 is indeed Bryan Singer. Why did you fail me? X-Men Apocalypse. Okay.
Aww.
Now, this isn't a bad movie per se, but man, is it definitely the weakest superhero movie I've seen this year in terms of the main ones we're talking about. I mean, it was a recipe for goodness. I mean, it had so much good with it. It could have been so great, right? Could have been so awesome, but no, they fall on a flat storyline. They waste most of their characters. The villain is so underwhelming. And my goodness, is this movie just boring.
There's the word.
Yep. My goodness, seriously. I mean, there was stuff that I did like about the movie. Like, I liked, the whole thing with Magneto and with Professor X and everything, but I mean, just for the most part, I just didn't really care for the movie. Like, it had a bland storyline. Like I said, I found the villain to be really weak. Definitely the weakest villain, I think, out of the entire. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but I'm sorry. It was the weakest out of any of the ones from any of these superhero films. So, yeah. just wasn't a huge fan of X-Men Apocalypse. It really, really let me down because I loved. Now, I'm not saying this had to be as great of a film as Days of Future Past, but I was just at least hoping for a good movie for, goodness sake. But
yeah,
in the end, I was just really disappointed. It could have been so much better, so much better. But yeah, I just found it to be just a very mediocre installment. It's my least favorite out of the Bryan Singer directed X-Men films. So there you go, X-Men Apocalypse.
My number 6. It's a movie I didn't hate, honestly, but I think it's average. It's the theatrical version of Batman v Superman. I saw it opening day, I remember, and this film is not really terrible. I wouldn't say it's their best film. My favorite one so far in the what they call it, the DC Extended Universe.
Yeah.
My favorite one's Man of Steel, but I gotta say the best part of this movie was Batman. He kicked a lot of ass. I really liked Alfred. Superman was good. Wonder Woman stole the show at the end. But the thing that confuses me is the editing. I mean, some part that really confused me, and it cuts to a random scene. I'm like, what just happened? If you watch the Ultimate Cut, it will make more sense. But the visuals are stunning. The battle at the end was really cool. Cinematography is pretty good. But the best scene in this entire movie was the warehouse scene. If you guys ever play Arkham Asylum or any of those games, you're going to love it. I like the villain, Lex Luthor. He was fine. I honestly don't get the hate on Jesse Eisenberg. It's a different take, folks. It's not going to be like the Gene Hackman one we had from the Christopher Reeve films. And I think that's all I got to say. I would give it a C+, 2.5 out of 5. It's average. Like I said, I didn't hate it. But I honestly prefer the Ultimate Cut. But I like both movies overall.
Nice. Okay, now let's go into our number 5. And, oh my God.
Number 5.
Number 5 is another disappointing comic book film. Yeah,
I think I know what it is.
Double Nine knows where I'm going with this. Prepare yourselves. My number 5 is Deadpool.
I respect you, like I said.
Okay, so here are my personal reasons, Double Nine, for why Deadpool was a huge disappointment to me.
Double Nine, it's fine.
I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion. Don't go into absolute meltdown. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Continue.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so Deadpool. This was a movie I was really, really anticipating. I thought the trailers looked absolutely great and all that. And coming out of the film, I just came out with this big emptiness in my soul, to be honest. Like, I felt pretty hollow walking out of Deadpool because, man, I'm not kidding. This movie really underwhelmed me. Like, it really did. Now, sure, similar to what Double Nine said about, X-Men Apocalypse, it's by no means a bad film. It does have its good merits. Like, Ryan Reynolds, he nails it as Deadpool. He is by far the best thing about this film. He is the perfect Deadpool. I can't see anyone playing Deadpool quite like Ryan Reynolds. He is definitely the best thing. Cinematography is really good. The action, when it's actually there, was actually a lot of fun, in my opinion. There's not a whole lot of it, unfortunately, but, when the action is there, it's pretty fun. But unfortunately, it's the same typical origin story that we've seen a lot of times before. And, I didn't mind the origin story for the most part. I would even say, to be honest, I was more into the origin story than I was in the present with Deadpool, which is ironic. But then even after a while, that seemed to really be running out of steam. And it just lacked what could have been a memorable superhero movie. It had the ingredients, but the ingredients just didn't quite live up to the potential to really stick out with me, like with most of these superhero movies, in my opinion. So I'm sorry, you guys. You know, I've said what I need to say about Deadpool plenty of times, but I have to rank it at number 5. I'm really sorry, Double Nine. And now you're number 5.
All right, my number 5. Okay, a movie that has been really split down the middle, but you know what? I enjoyed it. You know, it's not a flawless movie by any means, but you know what? I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good film, and that is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. You know, this was my most anticipated movie of the entire year. There was no other movie I was looking forward to more than this. And I will say I was satisfied. It was a very, very enjoyable film. Like, I liked everything with Batman. You know, I thought Henry Cavill was still great as Superman. You know, sure, the villain was weak and everything, but I still very much enjoyed the film. The movie had good action, some pretty good storytelling, and, you know, had some very interesting characters with it. And, you know, I understand why some people are split with this movie and why it has such the low rating it has and everything. But, you know what? I enjoyed it. I thought, like I say, it was a good movie. It had good characters behind it, had a really good story with it. And, you know, I thought the pacing for the most part was actually pretty good. Sure, there were some moments that did drag and everything, but, you know, I thought the directing was great. The writing was very good as well. So yeah, I very much enjoyed Batman v Superman. You know, despite my problems with the film, I still really enjoyed it. So that's why Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice comes in at number 5 on my list.
Sweet. All right, Brian, you're number 5.
All right. My number 5 is Suicide Squad. And, wait, what was I going to say? Oh, this is a film I wish I saw in the theater because I regret it. Because I'm a fan of DC Universe. I'm like, dang it, Brian, why didn't you go to the movie? So, Suicide Squad is a film that I don't get the hate on, to be honest. I really liked it. I gotta say, it was pretty good. My favorite parts of the movie is Will Smith and Margaret Robbie. They stole the show. I'm not going to lie right now. Even though this video is going to be edited, please don't edit this out. Harley Quinn. She was smoking hot. Oh, God. Anyways.
There's no denying that, my friend.
This movie, sure, it's kind of different than the other ones they've done, but it was a fun action movie. I had a blast with it. The villain was alright. There's some stuff that I really didn't like the Joker. Oh, God. I cringed. I was really confused. I'll give Jared Leto credit for trying. There's random music in here, even though I like the music. I'm like, why is that in there? Why is this in there? What is that? The editing is fine. But the ending, they do this laser thing in the sky again, which I'm kind of tired of, to be honest. My very okay, sorry about that. I'm a little confused. There's some jokes that work and some jokes that don't really work at all to me. But overall, I'm gonna give this a 3.3 out of 5, a B. It's one I wouldn't mind adding to the collection overall. So, yeah.
Nice. All right, and now we go into our number four. All right, so my number 4 is a movie that I actually did enjoy. I know Double Nine's gonna disagree with me once again, but my number 4 is X-Men Apocalypse. All right. So, X-Men Apocalypse, yes, I actually did enjoy this film. I mean, there's a reason that I now own it on Blu-ray because I actually did really enjoy the film. Sure, it's not as good as X-Men First Class or X-Men Days of the Future Past, but I wasn't really expecting that. I was just hoping at the very least it could be a very fun and very entertaining movie, and that's honestly exactly what I got. This movie really did entertain me. I still really liked the characters. I still thought the actors did a really good job for what they needed to deliver with the storytelling. The villains aren't exactly the strongest thing, especially with Apocalypse. I can admit that. Not exactly the strongest villain out there, but the scenes with Magneto are definitely some of the best things. The Quicksilver scene is so awesome, just like the scene in X-Men Days of Future Past. Love that Quicksilver scene. That was just so good. Visually, I thought it looked really good and all, and I was still interested in where the storyline is going. Yes, there are some pacing problems. There are some moments where I'm like, okay, let's cut to the next scene and all that. But I feel like overall, for what it needed to do, it still came together very nicely, making it all around a solid and entertaining superhero movie for me. So for me, I would put X-Men Apocalypse in my number 4 spot.
Hello. Okay, so
Hello.
now on to my number 4.
Yes.
Alrighty, so number 4 is another DC movie. Play Bohemian Rhapsody, because my next choice, my number 4, is indeed Suicide Squad.
Galileo.
Sorry.
Mamma mia, let me go.
Alright, so Suicide Squad. This has got to be one of the more fun times I've had watching a movie in a very, very long time, I want to say, because, man, I just had a blast watching this film. This is a fun, enjoyable action movie. You know, I thought all the characters were great. Like, I just loved the team. The team was so excellent. Like, you know, with Will Smith as Deadshot or Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, you know, Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. Just, I thought everyone was very enjoyable in terms of the team. I really enjoyed them. You know, I thought Jared Leto was great as the Joker. He was by far my favorite character in the film. You know, I thought he did a great interpretation of what he had to do with his Joker. I thought it was a great interpretation of that. And I just thought Suicide Squad was a blast, really it was. Like I said, I love the chemistry between everybody in the team. But the soundtrack was great. Not just like the soundtrack you like hear on like iTunes and stuff. I'm talking about like overall, the entirety of it, like when you hear like stuff like Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, or when you hear like songs like that and stuff, that was awesome. Like hearing those songs and everything really fit with the movie, and like I just jumped up and down when I heard those songs. So yeah, I thought the soundtrack was great. I thought the directing by David Ayer was fantastic. You know, I thought the movie moved at actually a pretty nice pace, honestly. I never felt like it was rushing or anything like a lot of people did. So yeah, Suicide Squad was a great, enjoyable, fun action movie for me, and I very much enjoyed it, and that's why it comes in at number 4.
And you actually thought it was well edited too, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's Double Nine's number 4. Now we go on to Mr. Mendoza's number 4. So Brian, what's your number 4?
Before we do that, ready for the most random joke of the night?
Okay.
We must be some kind of X-Men.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
I get it. Number 4 is also X-Men Apocalypse.
Interesting.
I've seen pretty much all, the last 3 X-Men films. Well, First Class, Days of Future Past, the best X-Men movie. And this one, I haven't had this much fun in the movie theater. I felt so relaxed. I remember sitting in the chair that day in that really nice afternoon / evening. This is one of the best films in the franchise. I honestly think it's underrated next to The Last Stand, which I really do like The Last Stand. I don't get to hate on it. I think it's a lot of fun.
Same here actually.
The Last Stand's 1,000 times better than this. Yeah, I said it.
Anyways,
I actually would understand why, believe it or not.
Anyways, the cast is awesome as always. I love the new cast. Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones in this film. She nailed it as Jean Grey. I really like Cyclops. I liked Nightcrawler, and of course, Professor X, Magneto, Mystique. And I feel like the other villains were just there, I guess. I like the Oscar Isaac in this film. Don't get me wrong, but you know what happened? He turned to the dark side after the last Star Wars film, pretty much. I'm just joking. Anyways, I liked him, even though there's parts where I'm like laughing all of a sudden in the theater. Yeah, that happened. But I thought he was a decent villain. Some of the special effects look good, and some of the special effects look video gamey for me.
Yeah.
The best part of the film is the Quicksilver scene. That was just awesome visually. I also like Stryker in there. The story's pretty good, and I'm not going to give away the cameo, but you guys are going to love it. There's a cameo in here. That's all I'm going to say. The score was epic. They brought back the score from the second film and the last film. But overall, I'm going to give X-Men Apocalypse 4 out of 5, an A-. Love this movie. Can't wait to see Logan next year.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be very exciting.
That's going to be dope.
Oh, yeah, man. Okay, guys. We're already, I can't believe how fast we're going through this. We're already at the number 3 spot.
All right.
Okay, so my number 3 spot is one of my most underrated films of 2016. I'm sure you guys could probably guess what it is at this point, but my number 3 is Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Just like with X-Men Apocalypse, once again, sorry, Double Nine, I think this is a very underrated film. I think Batman v Superman is actually really entertaining. Sure, as far as its structure, it can be quite choppy. I will admit that. The editing is a little bit messy. Nowhere near as messy as Suicide Squad, however, but it does have its messy moments to me. Okay. But Henry Cavill, I still think he's really great as Superman, and I think Ben Affleck is really great as Batman. He's a different kind. He definitely portrays a different kind of Batman, not like Christian Bale. Like, he definitely stands out and makes it his own, which is really great. And Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, for that short role she has, she was absolutely great. I thought it was a visually stunning film, as you can expect in a Zack Snyder film. And I actually did, I found the action sequences to be so freaking epic. The last 40 minutes, when it gets from that one fight scene of Batman to when we get to Doomsday, that was really great as well. Now, like as Devil Nine said, this is by no means a flawless film, and I wasn't expecting it to be flawless or anything. I just wanted to be entertaining, very good, and I think this is actually a really solid, really entertaining film. Definitely one of the most fun times I've had watching a film this year, that's for sure. Maybe not one of the best, but definitely one of the most fun films I've seen this year. And believe it or not, I am still really excited for Justice League. I know a lot of people are having doubts with that film, and that's understandable. I'm personally still excited for Justice League, and I still think Zack Snyder will do a very good job with that film. So, yeah, I know there's going to be some disagreements out there, but I think this is very underrated. I like the film, and I would rank it as my number 3 best superhero film of 2016.
My number 3. My number 3, probably the most mind-bending and trippy film you're going to see all year. Oh man, and that is none other than Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. This movie. Okay, I was really looking forward to this movie because this looked like a different superhero film. This really looked like a different superhero movie. They were going into magic and sorcery and mind-bending type stuff. And did they pull that off? Absolutely. Holy moly, because this movie is such a visual mind-bending film. Seriously, when you see the visuals in this movie, man, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's this one sequence where Tilda Swinton just touched Benedict Cumberbatch on the forehead. And what happens in that scene?
Oh, God, I remember that.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, but, yeah, I loved the movie. I thought it was definitely one of the best we've had in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was great as Dr. Stephen Strange. I really liked Tilda Swinton as well as the Ancient One. Chiwetel Ejiofor was really good. Mads Mikkelsen I thought was a great villain. Definitely, I really enjoyed him as the villain. So, yeah, I definitely enjoyed the movie. Scott Derrickson did a beautiful job directing this movie. Seriously, I
Oh
loved
yeah.
his directing with the film. Had beautiful cinematography. I love that about the movie. The writing was excellent as well. Like I said, the action sequences are great, especially when it comes to the finale. It was definitely, like I said, no spoilers, but definitely a very different finale from
Oh
most
yeah.
superhero films,
Hmm.
and has spawned one of the greatest memes of all time. I'm just saying, but Doctor Strange is definitely a fantastic Marvel film. It's definitely one of the best in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So that's why it's my number 3.
Nice. All right, Mr. Brian, what's your number 3?
Okay, you guys. I really want to meet Ryan Reynolds because I really want to thank him for the best birthday present of the year for me because I turned 16 back in February. I'm pretty sure you guys will know what this is. My number 3 pick is Deadpool. This film was awesome. Not only a great superhero film, it's one of my favorite romantic comedies, I guess, because of the romance.
You could consider it that probably, yeah.
I guess. Oh well, I would recommend it on a date. I guess this film. I have no problems at all. Ryan Reynolds, he knocked it out of the park. The supporting cast was funny. I really like the villain. The special effects are great, especially on Colossus. That first action scene, though, was crazy. That's all I'm going to say. I like that it's a little bit different than the other X-Men films, because this is also an X-Men film in the franchise. It's half action, half romance, half revenge. I like the idea. Even though it's done before, but it's done in its own cool way. The cinematography is beautiful. The action sequences are well shot. The soundtrack was awesome. What's that one? X gonna give it to you. He's gonna give it to you. That song's been stuck in my head for months since the movie came out. And this is a film you need to watch with a good surround sound system because I recommend playing it loud because it's worth it. But, oh yeah, the sound mixing was awesome. But overall, I'm gonna give this film my really rare 5.5 out of 5 or an A++. My awesome seal of approval. Badass seal of approval.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys, we're now at Numeral Dos, number 2. All right, so my number 2 is going to be what you just described, Double Nine, as a mind-blowing film. This grand spectacle. Yes, Doctor Strange is my number 2. Yeah, this film was quite the mind-blowing treat. There is just no denying that when it comes to me. I think everyone here, Double Nine and Brian Mendoza could agree with that, with how mind-blowing this film just is. This is just a very creative and different kind of Marvel movie. And it's just so amazing with how everything turned out, honestly, Yes, it does have the Marvel beats, and I know some people are getting kind of tired of seeing that. Personally, I think it does work.
Hey, you want to know something? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay?
True that. But what I was going to say is that, but I think for the story they're trying to tell, that they're going for, I think it actually does work, that they follow those. Or that Marvel beat. It does work for me, and I'm personally not bothered with that. I really was invested with the storyline. Honestly, from the opening scene, I was very invested with this film, and I was just very interested with where it was going. The training, all the training scenes were just so intriguing to me. How Doctor Strange had to learn certain powers is very intriguing, and then of course, all the magic and sorcery you see in the film and all of these Inception-like images. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was really great. Like everyone's been saying, Benedict Cumberbatch is fantastic as Doctor Strange. It's so great to see him in the MCU. Tilda Swinton's great. Chiwetel Ejiofor is great. Even though Rachel McAdams' character didn't really serve much of a purpose besides maybe like one scene, I still thought she did a good job in the film overall. Doctor Strange, it's just a really entertaining film. Most definitely. I loved nearly every moment that happened in this film. And I actually did really like the climax. Like, some people, I can understand why they might find the climax a little bit underwhelming. But for me, I actually thought the climax was a breath of fresh air. So, yeah, Doctor Strange, oh my goodness. Yes, it's my number 2 best of the year. This movie was pretty damn awesome.
Number 2. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. My number 2 is Captain America, Civil War. Civil War, here's a film where we have... This could have been a mess. And let me explain what I mean by that. With all these characters in this movie, this could have been a gigantic mess. But what Marvel did with this movie was absolutely incredible. I mean, just the way that all the heroes are divided with each other. You know what I mean? With, like, you know, with the whole thing of, like, oh, you guys are, like, destroying everything. You guys are making a mess. I like that. I like that they addressed that in this movie. They addressed the destruction that these heroes have caused. And it puts people on different sides with each other. And it definitely is a smart movie with that. And just the relationship of how it is with... And this also feels like a Captain America movie. You know, with all these characters in it and stuff, it still feels like a Captain America film. I mean, we're still following what's going on with Bucky and stuff. And it's just amazing. I love how this movie presents that. And they just do a very, very excellent job with that in this movie. I thought, I thought all the performances were great. I thought everyone did a fantastic job in the film. You know, and the action scenes, man, the Russo brothers really know how to direct action. They proved it time and time again, and they're proving it again with this movie. Like the airport scene, for example, phenomenal. But the end fight scene with, like, Bucky and Iron Man and Captain America is just great. That's probably my favorite, maybe my favorite action scene of the year. I have to really think about that. But yeah, Captain America Civil War, like I said, it's a genius movie of how it divides, you know, sides and everything. It divides, you know, all the team members and everything. And it's just so, so fantastic. I love Captain America Civil War, and that's why it's my number 2.
Sweet.
My number 2 is also Civil War. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is probably my favorite action movie of the year. Even though I haven't seen any other action films. But I gotta say, this is also my favorite superhero film of all time. This is one of the best storylines in the MCU so far. I never knew we would go this far 8 years later after the original Iron Man, because when I first saw Iron Man 1, I'm like, what is Samuel Jackson doing here at the end credits? But the acting, it's natural, it is fantastic. I love Chris Evans as Captain America, and the supporting cast, they were excellent. I really liked the villain. I know some people that didn't like the villain too much, but I thought he was pretty good, even though I don't want to spoil it because it has to do with the movie. The action sequences are some of the most intense I've ever seen. My heart was pounding when I saw this in IMAX 3D. Plus the subwoofer, I can feel it through my bones. It was one of those road sounds where I can feel it through my bones. The sound mixing is fantastic. Like I said, another movie should listen with your sound system. The cinematography is beautiful. I gotta say, this is probably the most amazing superhero show that I've ever seen in my life. It was like, can I say the Royal Rumble at an airport? The Royal Rumble at the airport with superheroes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Pretty much is.
Spider-Man. Oh my God. That's all I'm gonna say. He was amazing.
Hey Brian, can you repeat that? Your mic lowered at that very last part. Once you said Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was amazing in this film. Can't wait for a standalone movie. Overall, another 5.5 out of 5. A++.
Sweet. All right, you guys. Now it is time we get to the number 1.
Number one.
And my number one is obviously going to be, well, obvious, but my number one is Captain America Civil War. It is my favorite, and it is my best comic book movie of 2016. This film really did just blow me away personally. Um, I thought the Russo brothers did such a great job with the storytelling. Everything came together just so well. And like what Double Nine just said, this is a movie where if you got the wrong writer and the wrong director, this could have been a cluttered mess. Like the Russo brothers, a lot of people don't realize that the Russo brothers had a very big challenge. Like, I can't imagine how challenging it must have been to write the script and make sure everything is so organized. But they somehow managed to make it not feel like a mess. The characters each have their moments. Tony Stark has more depth in here than he has in some of the other films. And, Captain America, he was great here too. Everyone honestly does a very great job. Although this is a comic book movie, everyone all brings in their A game when it comes to the performances. The action's really great. Although it is a little bit shaky for the first 30 minutes. After that, it does become better. And definitely the highlights are the airport scene and the climax without getting any details. Those are definitely the two action scenes I really, really loved. Out of all the action scenes of Captain America Civil War, it was just so well told. It was so well structured, so well written, so well directed. It is honestly a comic book masterpiece. This is how you construct a superhero movie, and it does take the MCU into the next level. And it is personally now my favorite Marvel film. So my number one best comic book movie of 2016 is Captain America Civil War. And now we get to WWE fans number one.
My number one. Okay, listen, my number one. All right. I was excited for this movie. I figured this movie was going to be pretty good. But man, this movie was just brilliant in every single way. My number one, my best comic book movie of 2016 is indeed Deadpool. My goodness, people. Deadpool. I cannot stress to you how amazing Deadpool is, okay? Deadpool is such a fantastic movie. I love Deadpool. It's such a well-written and such a smart comic book film, okay? Just from everything, just from the comedy. Oh my goodness, this movie is gut-busting hilarious. I haven't laughed this hard at a film in probably a long time because it's just so genius. The comedy is just so genius with this movie. The way they make fun of superhero films, the way they just make fun of films in general, to be honest. And it's just some of the jokes really work in this movie. Ryan Reynolds gives the performance of a lifetime in this movie. He's incredible in this film. I thought he was absolutely incredible as Deadpool. The action scenes, within the first action scene of this movie, this movie's gonna be brutal, and man, is it seriously. The action scenes are brutal as can be. I love the action with the film. The movie has a brilliant screenplay. I love the writing with the film. Tim Miller did an absolutely phenomenal job directing this film. This would have to be one of the best directorial debuts of all time. And, I loved all the other side characters like Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Like, I loved the villains. I thought Ajax was great. Just everything about this movie is a masterpiece. This is one of the greatest comic book movies I think ever made. And it's a masterpiece. Seriously. I think this is the best comic book movie since The Avengers. Honestly, this movie is a fantastic film. I loved Deadpool. It is an absolute masterpiece of a comic book film. Here's the thing. It's a comic book film that decided, you know what, we're going to take a chance, we're going to make it R-rated, and you know what, it paid off in so many ways. So that is why Deadpool is my number one best comic book movie of 2016.
All right. And now Mr. Brian Mendoza is number one.
I haven't felt so high watching a movie in years. My number one pick trippiest movie of all time, I think, because I've never seen anything like this. My number one pick is Doctor Strange. This is one of the best movie-going experiences I've ever had in such a long time. I think probably since the Avengers 4 years ago. This is my favorite soundtrack from Marvel. It's different than the other ones. It's from the composer of Star Trek Beyond and the upcoming Rogue One, Michael Giacchino. Benedict Cumberbatch. I never knew he would be in a Marvel film this year because I really liked him as Sherlock Holmes in the show Sherlock. The cast is fantastic, great story, really good villain, and the action is something I've never seen in a superhero film before. It's unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. I thought Inception was trippy at first, but I gotta say I was wrong. I think this is more trippier than that movie, even though that was trippier, mind-blowing. This movie blew my mind. How come when I watched that one scene in the film, you guys will probably know where I'm going. I don't think I want to think of tea like that for a while. Because when I drink tea, I think of that one scene from this movie, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want that to happen to me. His superpowers are cool. I really like the cloak of levitation. It reminds me of Aladdin. And I really like the hand movement things he does with his powers. Like,
yeah.
I want that ring so I can get out of school and go home with that. So, overall, this film, 5.5 out of 5, A++. I forgot to mention, this is one of my favorite films for Rachel McAdams. She was funny in here, and she did a really good job. So, yeah, that's my favorite film. My favorite superhero film of the year. This is my favorite film of the year so far.
Nice. Well, you guys, that is our ranking of all the 2016 superhero films. We've agreed with each other. We've had disagreements, but you know what? That's the beauty of it. And to be honest, that's actually why I wanted to do this ranking list, because I knew that how we rank the movies would be interesting. Because, you know, if we have the same list, it would be pretty boring. I kind of like it when we could have a different list and we could still just have fun. I know Double Nine is against me with Deadpool and all that, but I know you still love me, right, Double Nine?
Questionable, but no, I'm kidding. But still,
no, I know. Oh man, I love you too, man. So yeah, this was a lot of fun, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you to everyone in the chat room. You know, G. Colby, Tevia Smoka, the Random Eric, Kevin Falk, Vader 200-591. Want to make sure I'm not missing anyone else. Oh, Drink Me. And then I think that's about everyone then. Yeah, thank you so much to everyone in the chat room for watching this one live. And thank you to BluTubers, WWE fan, and Brian Mendoza for agreeing to do this ranking video stream with me. So you guys, this is BluTuber 22 Tiger Dude here with BluTuber
WWE Fan 0599, and we'll see you out later. Peace.
And Brian Mendoza.
And don't forget that the three of us will always have
power.
Acid trips.
So yeah, those are all the rankings, you guys. I hope everyone has a lovely night and you stay awesome.
Stay classy, San Diego.
And I'm from San Diego, which is weird.
Peace out, world.
Peace. It's my least favorite out of the Bryan Singer directed X-Men films. So there you go, X-Men Apocalypse.
All right, nice. So let me just escape for a moment. Oh shoot.
Ah!
Oh shit.
Come on, man. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I
Yeah.
just had a panic attack.
Right.
You know, you can press
I might have to edit this after all.
You know, you have to press the ESC button to exit out of full screen, right?
I
Exactly.
actually am.
Oh, God.
Hold on. I can't explain this shit. Okay. Oh shit.
What a sound.
Oh man, looks like you might have to edit this after all.
I knew it to the beginning.
Maybe you should put this in the bloopers.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Okay, Brian Mendoza. Now we go on to your number 6.